Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Monsters Unleashed. Step in. Stand hard. No turning back. Monster Mike hits the front line, cutting through the dark. Boots hitting the ground like he's calling something out. If the night wants to move, it moves through him first. He wants answers, and he takes them. We move in. No fear. Eyes sharp, heart steady. We walk the dark, we hunt the unseen. We stand together and push through anything. This is the team, this is the fight. This is Monsters Unleashed. Come in tonight. Trisha hits the right flank, silent and locked in. She feels the forest breathe, hears a shift before it breaks. One glance and she knows when something's watching. Doug pushes forward like he owns the trail, strong stride, no pause. If something's waiting, he's the one in me. We walk the dark, we hunt the unseen. We stand together and push through anything. This is the team, this is the fight. This is Monsters Unleashed, pulling the night in tighter.
We're the best there is, and I'm telling you, yes, I'm excited.
Hello, everybody. I know tonight's show looks a little different. We're used to seeing Monster Mike start the show. Want to take a minute and just ask for everybody to say a prayer if you pray for my father. He is having some health issues right now, and he's just not feeling up to par being here tonight. So if you pray, please keep him in your prayers. If you don't pray, just keep him in your thoughts. So how's everybody doing tonight? Well, tonight we have Creepy Culture being multicasted with us. So welcome all you Creepy Culture fans and followers, however you say it. So this is going to be an exciting show. Jen and I had it was supposed to be like a girls' camping trip, but I was not going in the LBL alone, and I wasn't going to leave her alone. So she brought her son, and I brought my husband, and I brought my son, and we spent the weekend in a cabin in the LBL. Jen, what'd you think spending the night in there?
I loved it. I had fun.
Yeah, it was really, really peaceful. It was peaceful, and then there was some things, and it wasn't so peaceful, but nothing that, scared us too bad. Not like stuff I've experienced before. We also have Coven of Curiosity, Cindy Zapp, with us tonight.
Hello, ladies.
How are you, Cindy?
I'm good. I just finished my show. I have a whole new Coven of Curiosity podcast going on. I've collaborated with some other people, and Southern Ohio Bigfoot, Watcher's Maiden, Donna Copus, for those who might be watching and know her. She's wonderful. I love her to death. She's like my sister. And then we've got Federal Paranormal Investigators, which is actually my paranormal team. Marcus, he's my fiance. He's now part of my show. I brought him on because we, investigate together. And then we've got Hexes and was it Hexes or Hates, Hexes and Hollers. Rachel Jones, she's also on the NCI show, but she decided to join my show as well. So she's on 2 shows. And then we got Rick and Mandy and then Chadwick Gales. I added him. He's from Chestnut Ridge Paranormal. So I brought him on because I've had him on since I was doing Audible when I was used to do Audible. So, but yeah, we just had our first collaboration party show. So kind of getting it started. So it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I got to watch a little bit of it driving home. I've been fishing all day with my kids. I want to tell you something funny about the Federal Paranormal Investigation Team. So a few months ago, I got a friend request from that group, and I called my dad freaking out. And I'm like, Dad, this is a really good name. Like, should I accept it? Like, I feel like it's somebody telling me. It freaked me out a little bit, and then we got to look at it, and he goes,
when you realize it's mine.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, I think you're okay, and I'm like, okay, cool. Anything with federal, I'm like questioning, you know. So yeah, I was going to tell you that last night on our show when you were talking, but yeah, it freaked me out just a little bit.
I'll be doing the same stuff. I really do. I'm so paranoid. I'm like, what is that about?
Well, I mean, it's like where I live. I mean, a lot of you guys know where I live. It automatically makes me paranoid doing what I do and living where I live. Everything's like a red flag to me.
No, I get it. I totally understand. I mean, I would be like, what? Who's Federal Paranormal Investigators? Like, but yeah, no, that's my team. It's Marcus and I, we started it together, and we have 2 others that are on the team and everything. But him and I lately have been going out a little more often, just because everybody's schedule's kind of, crazy and stuff and different. So we'll be going back out again April 3rd. We're going to a military base, actually, that's abandoned. So I don't know much about the history. I don't like to know. So, but I'm excited about it.
Go in there.
I didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just glad that, I finally figured it out. My dad actually figured it out for me. And he's like, I think you're good. And I think this was before we even met you.
Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of I was like, oh God, no, they're on me. It was funny. It was funny. But yes, I want to acknowledge we have Swamp Dog in the comments. Swamp, we did not catch a fish, but I had a trout on my line and I lost it because of a rock. The rock cut my line.
Hi, Ash.
Oh man, it was really frustrating. But my daughter, yesterday, we were at the top of the hill, and she walked down to the water. She's like, I'm going down and cast my pole in. I'm like, okay, you do you. She goes, and I kid you not, this is how it went. She walks down there. We're at the top of the hill trying to get our pole set up, and she starts screaming, Mom, I think I got one. I'll be damned, this kid caught a baby catfish. Nothing like that.
My gosh.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? You just put your pole in the water. It comes from fake bait, like a fake little minnow.
No.
And I'm like, so we get our poles and we're going to cast ours in. She goes, all right, I'm ready to go home. I caught my fish.
She was out.
Like, I'm done. Peace out.
She just has to outshow her mom every chance she gets. Every chance.
That's cute.
And now, since we're on the topic of this, she is outshowing me. This little girl is investigating Bigfoot on her own, and I had to have a little talk with her today about going in the woods by herself.
Yeah.
With a friend, and let her know, like, hey, you cannot do that. The woods, you may think that they're safe. They may appear to be safe, but they're not safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not.
But she did. She brought me a report, and I had to contact the kids' parents. and explain to them what it is that I do and kind of get some more details. So before we get into the LBL, since we're on this topic, I'm going to share with the audience a little bit about this report that my daughter, 12-year-old daughter, brought to me. I was approached about a week ago by her and her little friend, and her friend was really freaked out, said she'd been hearing things behind her house. They've seen things behind her house. Well, it's been about a month. We had a really bad ice storm. And the mother, and I verified with the mother today, they were out, I guess, walking around their house because they had heard something. The mom and the little girl come across some footprints. And I'm going to pull these up. This is one of them. The mother took a photo, and I guess the little girl said, hey, I need to talk to my friend JC because her mom, she researches in, the field. She finds all kinds of prints. So this is the one, and then here's another view of it, and you can clearly see the toes and the heels. It's a pretty crazy print. But this night, what drew them out to look was they heard noises, a lot of noises, like yelling and growls. So they walked out, and eventually they had to call the father out. And by the way that it was told to me, the father had to draw his gun. He had to draw his gun.
Wow.
And I'm not the location, but a lot of people already know. It's one of, if you know, you know situations. And then after the snow had melted, no, this was last week. My daughter was there. My daughter heard the noises. There was 2 other little girls there, and the mom, they were in the backyard. They heard the growls. They heard what sounded like whoops. And they were going to have a bonfire, so the dad went out into the woods and was getting firewoods. Well, he was already back in the garage when they heard a growl, and the one little girl said she saw something in the tree moving, like going tree to tree. And the daughter goes, well, maybe it's my dad. And the friend's like, well, why would your dad be up in a tree?
Yeah.
And he was already in the garage. And I guess throw his gun again. I swear it sounds like a demon in your house, Jen.
That's my dog. That's Maggie up here running through the house. I'm so sorry.
But they went back in. My daughter took it upon herself, and I had to have a talk. Yes, guys, I explained how dangerous this is to my daughter, and I think after today she understands. Finally, they went back in yesterday and come across this. A skull hanging.
Oh, that's a skull. That's a skull on a branch.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely placed there for sure.
What kind of skull is that, Trish?
Yeah, that looks interesting.
I don't know. I mean, that's a big tooth, man. That's a really big tooth. It's definitely got to be something canine-ish, maybe like a coyote, fox. I don't know. I'm going to run it through Google and see what Google tells me, because I'm not really familiar with saying, oh, hey, that's a deer skull or coyote skull. Or I can point out deer skulls all day, and I don't think deer have teeth like that.
I don't think so. And what's interesting, though, is how close that tree and that skull is left, and how close it is to the houses. It's very, very close. It's not far out in the woods at all, period. So it's like obviously leaving a marker or leaving a, hey, just letting you know I'm out here type of thing,
I had to sit down with these girls today because the little girl told me that she picked up the skull and threw it into somebody's yard. And I'm like, listen, you don't do that. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. Mess with it. Leave it alone. And I said, I'm not telling you to be scared. Don't be scared. Okay. You're fine. You'll be okay. But don't mess with anything that it does in those woods. If it makes a tree structure, don't mess with it. Don't tamper with it. If it leaves
Yeah.
bones like that, don't mess with them.
Yeah.
And I had to tell her, like, hey, you have to be respectful. Okay, you really, really have to have a lot of respect for these
Yeah.
things, because it could get dangerous if you don't.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
it's talking to a child that doesn't know anything about this type of stuff. It's kind of difficult. It really is, to get them to really understand the do's and the
Right.
don'ts. And now this kid's obsessed with Bigfoot. She wants to go into LBL with me and look for Bigfoot. I'm not taking somebody else's kid in the land between the
No.
lakes with me. That's just
Absolutely not. No.
not to happen.
No.
Parents want to come, cool. But I'm not taking another person's child into the land between the lakes with me. Just not going to happen. But that's a pretty crazy skull on that tree branch.
Yeah, it
Then
is.
it got reported to me that there was blood on the tree. So while I was there, I walked in there today and they showed me the tree. And this is not blood. Me and the dad agreed. This is not blood. This is sap. But the
Yeah.
interesting thing about this tree branch was how it was dangling from this tree. Okay, because this is not this tree right here. It's two different trees. This was hanging from this tree that's to the left of this branch, just dangling out.
That's so interesting.
It is. So I walked a little bit further back and I found a structure that on the inside of it is very clean. There's no leaves or anything. I did not have my phone with me. It was in the truck because they were just so adamant about, hey, you need to come out here and look at this. Hey, you need to come out there and look at this. I'm like, okay, I'll come out there and look at it. And I have to be careful because of the area that it's in. There's things being done and you're not really supposed to be in there. So,
Okay.
I walked back in there and took a look, and I did debunk the whole blood thing. That's not blood, that's sap. But I did see the skull that the girl threw in the neighbor's yard. I'm like, you guys are in for a treat. You just don't even know. I did find a print that looked like 3 toes and claws.
Okay.
It was further back from the houses. So I'm going to, when things kind of cool down here with everything going on, I'm going to go put a trail cam in there, and I have to hide it very well.
Right.
Put a trail cam in there and maybe become really good friends with the parents and just hey, let's have a bonfire. Just sit around and just listen, see
Yeah.
I maybe put a voice recorder hidden up in there.
Yeah. That would be a
Because
good idea.
That's all you need to do.
yeah, something's going on over there. Like that girl, she's scared. And the other friend, she's even more scared.
Right. So I have a question though about the prints in the snow, because you mentioned that you had an ice storm not too long ago.
Mhm.
Did they happen to take more, or was it you that took those photos? Because I was curious on where the footprints were going. Were they going out into the woods? Like, where were they leading?
She said the mom told me that they were walking towards their house. So out of the
Okay.
woods towards their house.
Out of the woods. But did they find prints going back to the woods? That would be, or
She said
was there nothing?
She said when she saw them, they snapped a photo and went back inside, didn't come back out. Because she knew that whatever it wasn't an animal because of the size of them. And it scared her so bad. Now, I've talked to the husband a little bit. Well, I've gotten some information that he has said from him. And I want to talk to him more to see what his thoughts are. But they're not believers in stuff like this. But it freaked her out.
Oh, gotcha.
She knew that it wasn't normal, that it wasn't an animal. And I've showed a few other people. Yeah, that's not an animal. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but what exactly is it? Is it Sasquatch? Is it something else? The toes are really long on it. So
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'll keep
It's
investigating.
interesting.
It is very interesting. Um, it's crazy, and it's so close. Did you get? Oh, hang
It's
on, we got
insanely close to the yard.
the Night's Watch in here. Listen, Jim, I said your name right for once. First time Jim was in our show. I was like, oh yeah, the Night's Watch Earl. He corrected me real quick, and I feel like an idiot for that. But I was like so nervous about being on the show that I read it completely wrong. So I'm an idiot.
I've
I love it.
it happens.
I love
We're
Jim.
human.
He thinks just like me.
Oh, dude, Jim is awesome.
Smart
We
fella.
absolutely had a blast
Yeah.
talking to him in between the lakes, and
Mhm.
it was an amazing time. But since I'm trying to kind of hold off till Jen's son gets on here because he was there to witness some of this. But we had the best time. I made barbecue chicken kebabs over the fire.
Ooh,
We
yummy.
told stories and had some interesting stuff happen at the cabin. Jen was asleep. I set up perimeter alarms behind
Okay.
our cabin. And the first time I did this was a couple weekends ago. I was in there on my anniversary, and something threw a rock at the cabin. It woke my daughter up. It woke my husband up. My husband shook me to get me awake. And I told my daughter, I was like, well, I'm not going out there right now. We'll check it in the morning. So that morning, she bugged me. We went out there and checked it, and there was no dent. So this perimeter alarm was about 4 inches above this dent. So I know for a fact there was no dent here when we put that perimeter alarm up. This is where that rock smacked. My
Wow.
husband said it sounded like it hit something metal. Well, that's the only thing that would make that sound. This is wood.
Right. Yeah.
So my daughter gets to looking around and she finds this rock. Well, this rock just so happens to match with this dent.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'll have to say that rock had to have gotten thrown because the rocks behind that cabin, there's a creek bed there, and all the rocks are way bigger than that. So if you find a smaller rock about the size she's holding, it had to be put there basically. Because other ones
Well,
are
and
huge.
not only that, but that would have had to been thrown very, very hard for to put a dent. Because if I would have thrown that, I wouldn't have made no dent. You would have to throw it that hard because that's a water drain. So you would have to hit real hard. I mean, throw it really super freaking hard for it to dent like that. I mean, I would think because I don't think I could put a dent in a water drain unless I'm throwing really hard. Huh.
It freaked her out. I mean, she was calm the next morning, but it freaked her out. And after that happened about 1:30, 2 a.m. And
Oh, wow.
shortly after, that alarm that was right there, because my alarms are numbered, and that alarm kept going off till about 4 a.m. Just something kept triggering that alarm. And since we got down there that Friday, and Friday was the 6th, so it was Friday, March 6th.
Yeah.
We pull in, and there's 3 black cats beside our cabin. And that was a red flag to me.
Yeah.
And then we heard, it was a couple hours later, we heard something, a crash in the woods. And I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, listen, I need a break. This is my anniversary. It's supposed to be relaxing. I don't want any cryptid activity. I just want to relax.
Yeah.
And my husband's like, yeah, I doubt you get that.
No, the LBL lights up when you're there, Trisha. It's like, oh, Trisha's here. Oh, let's be active.
I won't go to that extent, but there's something weird, and it's like that not just for me. It's like that for the guy that's in the comments, war criminal. You know, he has a lot that happens to him. There's several of us that go in there that there's just something like drawn to us.
Wow.
But we started a fire because we hadn't ate all day and we were going to cook some hot dogs, and it was dark, and I looked to the right of our cabin in the woods, around by the area we heard that noise about a couple hours earlier, and I see like a green dot look like eye shine, and I'm like, all right, I'm seeing things. At this point, I'm just refusing to deal with anything cryptid related, anything spooky. I just want to relax.
Yeah.
And I'm like convincing myself I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing stuff. Pareidolia. Just seeing stuff. And a few minutes go by, and I grab my green flashlight, and I turn back around, and I shine it over there, and I see 2 eyes shining green. And not only that, it was something very large and black, moving very quickly, but not moving like something normal. This was like slithering, like a snake, but the size bigger than a panther. It was bigger than a panther. So the next morning, I go down to the guard shack thing. I'll call it a guard shack. I don't know what you want to call it. And I'm talking to the lady because me and the lady had been having some pretty cool conversations about Lame Twin Lakes. And I'm like, hey, what type of wildlife do you guys get coming in to the camp? She's like, oh, well, we get the occasional bear, coyotes, hogs. I'm like, well, what about panthers? She goes, well, there was a rumor of one, but nobody could prove it. And I'm like, huh, okay. And she's like, you saw something, didn't you? And I said, yeah. I said, whatever it was big like a panther, if not bigger. And it was headed directly towards us rather quickly. And, we ran back into the cabin because it was moving that quick. And she's like, well, how tall was it? And, I told her, and I said, it was about 3.5 foot tall. Well, I said, it was like moving quick. She goes, well, it could have been a hog. And I'm like, sitting there thinking, no, I've seen hogs. Yeah, they're big in there, but they don't move like that for one. And this thing was bigger. And she's like, okay. She's like, well, I'll have somebody check it out. And I'm like, okay, I don't need anybody to check it out, but, that's fine, sure. But I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell was this? And then
you mentioned too that it was slithering, kind of, right?
It was. And I told this lady that. I was like, hey, this thing was slithering like a snake, but it wasn't a snake. And that she gave me this look, look like she knew something, but she just couldn't say. And that tends to happen a lot. But it reminded me kind of what me and Jen had laid eyes on at another campground, a group camp area in the LBL. And Jen saw these things on her night vision, and I saw these things with my own 2 eyes. Because when she spotted them on her night vision, there was a guy. It was Rick. Rick was on that same ridge where these things were at. No radio or anything. So I went to go tell him, like, hey, you've got something, like, right here. And he was alone, so I worried. So I drove my Jeep up there, and I angled my Jeep in the road because we ended up passing Rick. He was walking back. And I flip on my light bar, and my light bar just lit these things up. And I could see them. And they had no ears. I saw there was 2 sets of eye shine. And they were crawling with their elbows, and their legs were bent like spider legs. And the one
I remember you guys talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like that again, you think?
I didn't pick out the legs on this one, okay? But the way that it was moving, part of it was like that. And like the head was rounded, but no I couldn't make out ears. So that's why I'm saying like it didn't have ears because I couldn't make out the ears.
Right.
Trisha,
Yeah.
what you just said, I forgot about that little detail about the Slytherin thing. You know who I was talking to earlier today? You need to tell him that, or I'll let
Okay.
him know that because it was a thing and another thing he was investigating, and I totally forgot about it. So you just said it.
Yeah,
So,
I will definitely do that. And I won't show the other photo that I showed you, Cindy, last night of the scratches that my husband woke up with on his stomach. He had 3 scratches on his stomach. And this was our anniversary weekend. And before anybody says it, there was no freaky stuff going on because my daughter was there. So it was not me. Just going to throw that out there because I know my dad's watching and it'll be in the comments. Watch.
Right.
It was not me. But that lady, she told me some other interesting stuff. And she gave me this vibe like, I know you know, and you know I know, but I can't.
Oh, right. You
And
get
she,
well, and you can probably sense that from her when yeah.
absolutely. And she
Interesting.
was super friendly and super nice. And we didn't get to talk to her the weekend me and Jen was in there. But that's just some of the stuff that happened on my anniversary weekend. And it was crazy. I mean, and then here's something else. And I can't believe I'm really excited to finally be able to sit down and talk about this
Yeah,
stuff. So I know I'm mumbling really fast.
you're
But guys,
fine.
a lot of this stuff is, some people think it's really spooky, and it is, but it's really exciting for researchers to experience stuff like this because it just, I don't know, there's just something about it. Sometimes it does scare the shit out of me, and at other times I'm like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese when I catch something. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to share this with other
Yeah.
groups. But and you guys here in the studio and you guys in the comments, I want you guys, before I say anything, tell me what you see in this photo.
Okay. Give me a second to adjust.
I don't count. I already know what it is.
Well, it's weird because I'm like, I see a footprint on beaming or something. It's weird. And then I see this dark, I don't know what that dark thing is up on top of the picture, but that it looks like a dang footprint from the beaming of something. It's weird. That is so strange. What the heck?
I'm watching the comments. Does anybody in the comments want to give like their thoughts on it before I take it down? Because I got in my truck. Andy and Crystal was leaving. That's them in their car leaving. And this looked like a footprint on my windshield.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You can
My
see the,
daughter,
the toes.
well, doesn't climb my vehicle. She knows I will discipline her to the highest level if she climbs on my vehicles. So that's not her footprint.
Huh. Well, it looks pretty big. It doesn't look like a child's footprint to me, in my opinion.
And the toes.
I can't speak for anyone else, but yeah, the toes look long. That's so strange. Huh. Wow. Well, what's the thing on top? What is that?
Oh, well, that's my hand. And my reflection is my
Okay.
War Criminal says he sees 2 eyes. I'm going to message you, War Criminal, about that. And Jim, being sarcastic, Jim, gotta love him, says a Camry or an Altima.
He cracks me up.
And Southern Ohio Bigfoot says, does look like a footprint or a handprint smudge.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, I love them. I love Rick and Mandy so much.
Same.
They said
I love all our people. All our people in here.
Oh, and we have I'll let you add them. And we also have Brian Bohall in the comments. Welcome back. I hope your investigation went well last night. It was a really good show last night. We enjoyed it. Can't wait to have you back.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Southern Ohio Bigfoot says that's a Squatch foot. I don't know what foot it is. Could it be possibly? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but it's very weird to be on my windshield. Don't have the photo of the fingerprints that was on the side of my truck with me tonight, but I will get them, and on our next show I will show them.
Wow.
Swamp says if it was a footprint, it'll probably crack the windshield. It does appear to be a footprint. It does look like a footprint.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a Bigfoot. It could also be a spirit. It can be paranormal. Absolutely. But that definitely does look like a footprint for sure.
We have Ariel from in the house. Hello. But it does.
Sorry. Late.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, you're fine, okay. Jake. You want to give us your opinion on what's on this windshield? What do you think it looks like?
Give me a little context here. It's kind of small on my screen. Oh, you mean the footprint?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, that's pretty clear. Yeah, that's a footprint.
Yeah, it could I think it's more paranormal, in my opinion, than a Bigfoot. I mean, it's pretty big. It looks like a man foot, it belongs to a man. But paranormal, I mean, they leave handprints. You can leave footprints and stuff. And, it might be someone that was just interested in what you were doing in your car. So it's interesting.
We need to start taking baby powder, Trish.
Yeah.
She was right.
Seriously. Yeah.
The night that we were down there, but all I had was my plaster Paris, and I didn't want to waste that. Waste that. But yeah, I have thought about experimenting and doing the baby powder thing, just to see. But all right, Jim, thank you for stopping by.
I was getting ready to type that. Yep. See you, Jim.
But that's all what happened to me and my husband and my daughter while we were in there. Also that weekend, we did a little bit of paranormal stuff in the cemetery. My daughter really likes the paranormal stuff. I'd actually like to get her in with somebody that can kind of teach her more, because it's still new to me. I'm still learning, and I'm not the right person to teach her with that. And I want to get somebody more familiar with it. But we were at a cemetery, and we had something tell us to look for lights and Draco. Well, a week went by, and I'm trying to piece 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Because at not that same cemetery, but we went up to another cemetery. And don't laugh at me. I'm going to try to mimic this noise that we heard. But we hear, there's no drone. I thought it was a drone. Me, my daughter, my husband, Andy, and Crystal, we're looking around for drones. There's no drones flying anywhere. And this noise moved around us. So right before we had looked up, look for lights, a door's open, and Draco. And then
how was Draco spelled?
Draco.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
It is very interesting. So, because me and Jen took a day and we're reviewing all this and talking about it.
Yeah.
And Draco is a species of an alien, the Draconian species.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was just going to look it up.
Okay, well,
you just answered my question.
It is. And that kind of makes sense with the look up, look for lights, the noise that we heard. So, did we come in contact with a Draconian species alien? I don't
Never.
know, but
Yeah.
there's clues, little clues that point that direction.
Did you have any like when you're hearing the hum, you know, that noise? Did you feel a little off, or did it affect your
I had
vision? Kind of,
my
you know.
my ear was ringing really bad. But I didn't feel off. I didn't feel threatened, anything like that. I felt okay. Now after the noises ended, both Crystal and I felt way off. Like we were just
Okay.
didn't feel right.
Yeah.
So, we left, and the whole way home, I'm like, I told my husband, I was joking about it at first. I'm like, did we just have our first encounter with an alien? And he just kind of laughed it off, and I'm like, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So a week went by, and I'm telling Jen about it, and Jen goes, Trish, do you know what a Draco is? And I'm like, well, I questioned it because when it said Draco, I was asking everybody around me, is there a demon named Draco? Because that first cemetery, it gave me like demonic vibes.
Okay.
And she was like, no. She goes, but there is an alien species called the Draconians. They call them Dracos, and they're reptilian. And I'm like, well, Jen, like we heard this noise in the cemetery, and I mimic it back to her, and we start talking about it. And so I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that we came in contact with an alien, but there are some pretty significant signs, clues that kind of lead that direction.
How long ago was that?
That was the weekend before you guys came down.
Okay. What meteor shower are we going through right now? Where we getting all the fireballs and stuff? And that are we not in? I don't know which one it is. I would have to look it up, but it could be there's one named after Draco, or there's a meteor shower. One of the main big meteor showers we go through every year. It's has the same kind of name. I know that.
Well, I would have to ask you that, James, because you're my walking
Yeah,
Google.
typically I know which one, but not this time.
Right.
Yes, guys, for those of you that doesn't know who this brilliant genius of a person is in the box, James Collins, he is a walking Google, walking encyclopedia, probably
Except for this kind of time, apparently.
smartest people that I know. He's a great guy. I love having woods with me, and I hope you're coming down in April because
I am.
Yes, praise the Lord. Wait, what was it that your husband said? Hallelujah, what?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. But I'm excited too, and I'm blessed to be James's mom, so that's my son. And great.
When we got down there the week we were camping, this boy done took off to the creek, and he done found a snake, and he comes back, he goes, yeah, there's a snake back there. Just calmly.
He's so calm.
And I'm like, what do you mean there's a snake back there? What type is it? And he goes, I don't think it's. And I'm like, oh, great, there's a snake.
It was a coach whip.
Coach whip.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which are fine. Just very fast. Were you able to see which meteor shower we're going through?
So I don't know. There isn't one. Well, I didn't see one now, but there's one that's going to be happening between April 22nd and 23rd. It's called Lyrids. And then they finish through the 6th of this year. It's called Eta Aquarius. I don't know. I don't know how to say it right. Aquarids, maybe. That's probably better.
Probably have to check it on the beginning.
And actually, what's interesting, the Lyrids, or this is happening over San Diego, here in California, where I'm at.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting.
I know there's like 3 or 4 major comet streams that we go through each year. And that's usually I try to pay attention because you can go out and see whatever they forecast, like 100 an hour up to during the peak at some of them. But I know one's called like the Drake. It might be the Draco. It's called, I believe, but it definitely has something to do with the dragon or Draco, and I think it's representative of a constellation. Because you look up toward the constellation, and that's usually where you can see the comets or meteors if they come through.
Draconian
It's
meteor
Dracoid?
shower.
It's a
All you need to
constellation.
know.
Okay, it's a
It
constellation.
says Draco is the dragon, a
There we
large
go.
winding circumpolar constellation in the far northern sky.
Okay.
It's even recognized by the International Astronomical Union.
Okay. Well, if you got to look up at Draco, then it has something to do with the constellation, perhaps.
Yeah,
Maybe.
possibly.
I mean, stars
what's
are just
interesting
light,
is the big-
so
Yeah, it's got the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and then it looks like a snake from what I'm seeing on here. Like it's a snake, and then it kind of goes into a bucket. It's like the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper.
Oh.
How it has that little, but it's this long curvy thing. It's called El Tanan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's called it's called Draco. Interesting.
yeah, I have
just
to look
learned
into
something.
Hmm. My mind went straight to aliens. Bam. Especially since she heard that weird noise,
Oh
because
yeah.
those spaceships or whatever they're riding around in, they can be invisible. So it freaked me out when she told me she heard that like a whirling noise and there wasn't anything there. I was like, holy crap, what the hell is going on?
There was nothing.
Well, guys, I hate to do this. I do have to drop because I am on the other show and everything. But thank you so much for having me on. I loved this, and I hope you have me back. I would love to come back anytime. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I would love to get more into
Thanks for being
this.
here.
Yeah, of course. We'll do it again. We'll do it again with you, and I hope you have a good show.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
See you
too.
soon.
Thank
You
you.
too. All right. So
Now, that's crazy.
James is here, so we can do our LBL stuff.
Let's do it. All right. So,
Sorry.
You're fine.
oh man, what dates was we in there?
The 22nd, or what?
The 19th.
Yeah, I believe.
No, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
I know my phone bill was due, so that's all I remember.
My sister's birthday is the 22nd.
Oh, the 22nd. Yep.
We just wanted to go and just relax. And when Jen was down here back in February, she didn't get to see a lot of areas, different areas of the land between the lakes. So she came down. We were just hanging out. Both of them came down. We were hanging out, and I took them around to some spots. And we're not going to give out locations. And we went to one location where Swamp wants me to read his comment real fast. Draco has a direct connection with vampires.
Yeah. That's true.
We went to one location where Monsters Unleashed had investigated back in October of last year. And we drove in on the truck, and we wasn't planning on getting out. I was just kind of driving her in there so she can, just see. We didn't really plan on investigating anything. Just drive around, just show different areas and all that. Well, something had a wild hair pass, and I got out, and nobody had believed me about the dog calling noises that I had heard. Okay, so I had heard in the LBL before. So me being me, I always like to try things new. I want to do something different that not really any other group has ever done. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I take what I heard and give that back to these creatures? And I've had some really good results out of it. And I wanted to show Jen and her son that I'm not bullshitting. This works for me. So I get out and I go in, and first thing I noticed was there was something dark standing between these two trees. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really make out what it was. So I didn't want to walk back to the truck and lose sighting of it. So Jen brought me her phone. So I start recording and I go, and I'm watching. Now I'm going to play you the video that we got from there.
Excuse my language. In this.
Language warning, yeah.
Yeah, language warning. If you're sensitive to the F-bomb, probably should not watch this.
Because Jen.
I don't see the body of it though. Did you fucking hear it? Open the door, sit still. That's a woodpecker. Okay, the first was a woodpecker, but the response was different.
The audio turned out great, actually.
It did. And where you enhanced it so we could hear it better, what we heard the first time, you could hear Trish say, I don't see the body, just the head. And then I say, listen how quiet. Because I was tripping how quiet it was. There was nothing. And as soon as I said, listen how quiet, it goes off over the ridge. You can hear it yell.
Oh,
We could hear it fine. You can hear it fine on my phone, but to transfer it to her and then replay it, it kind of fades it. So she enhanced the audio right there. And then we heard it 2 more times, but on the video, it's only twice because we stopped recording and we heard it 1 more time. We heard a rock clack and a wood knock, I believe. Am I right?
yeah.
Trish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we heard it the first time, and this is what I hate about like filming audio and stuff, because it never sounds like it does in person. The roar of that, I mean, the yell of it, it was so deep. I mean, it
It was a surround sound, I would say.
oh man,
No doubt.
you could tell whatever was making that was big.
Oh yeah, it was a sizable, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. And then when I, quit recording, I did a third, and we had something that rock clapped back, and it was behind Jen, and there's like some really tall weeds behind Jen, and it was close because you could hear the clap.
It was right behind me.
And I turn around, and poor Jen, I didn't mean to scare you, Jen, I apologize. But I'm like, Jen, you've got something behind you. And she just makes a beeline straight to the truck.
Gone.
Straight to the truck.
See ya.
I'm like, just standing there, just watching. I'm not filming, I'm just listening. And at the same time, I'm thinking, I'm like, yes, somebody was here with me when I did this, and they heard the response. So now people will stop bullshitting me about it, because I do. Like, nobody believe me about it.
Play it again.
At
least the first part.
Let's play it again, because I love listening to this. This had me so excited.
And again, I'm sorry for the F-bomb.
My face lit up. It lit up. I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't see the body of it, too. Did you fucking hear it? Don't open the door. Sit still. That's a woodpecker. Okay, the first was a woodpecker, but the response was different.
I wish everybody could hear it like we did.
See, Doug was supposed to be sitting beside me tonight, and he done vanished, but I wanted Doug to talk about, him hearing it too. It wasn't just us three that heard it. Doug heard it, and my son heard it. And my son was standing beside me, and I remember just turning, and he's like this. And, when I take my son out with me, and we have something like this happen, or we experience something, I always try to make it not so scary for him. So I tell him hey, see buddy, when you're with me, they like reacting because you're with me, to make him feel comfortable. I want him to feel comfortable in the woods with me and not be scared. And Jim, was he scared at all?
Mm-hmm.
No, he was excited. He was like, I knew they loved me.
Mm-hmm.
Let him say it. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it made him feel safe, and it made him feel comfortable saying that, so I let him. And I apologize if you hear a chicken in the background. I have a German Shepherd that will not leave his rubber chicken alone. Drive me nuts.
Hey, James, what did you think about that? Because, I'm your mom, and I've talked about this crap all your life, but...
About that specific...
the vocalizations we heard at that place? Yeah. What do you think about that, honestly?
So at that point in the day, we had been out a few places, and I had gotten out of the truck every single time, of course. And that time, it didn't seem like much of a... It seemed like a quick stop. So I was just sitting in the car eating Starburst with our son for a minute until so I didn't expect much or anything at all. And I didn't honestly know that she was going to go out, talking to something or whatever have you. So I was very surprised by it. And the first initial, what would you call that, a yell? Or
It's a yell.
Yeah, like a yell. I thought it was, looking back, I was thinking maybe that you had called out, or that your husband had called out maybe. Before, and then got a response, like a call and a response. But now that I think about it, that yell was before that even ever happened. So I was thinking someone on a hill or something might have been trying to be funny, because there was just because of the area we were at, there was a cemetery right above us on the hill, and we were that little prairie or whatever have you, and then there was another hill door, and you could hear cars and whatnot go by, but I was just shocked actually. We forgot to go back and look for the treat was gone too.
I did go back, and the treat was moved, and it did look like something was nibbling on it, but I think that was just like some sort of small animal.
Hard to tell. It did validate a lot of. It wasn't an animal I've ever heard, and I don't go on safaris exactly, but I do a lot of research in them. That's something that I would Google randomly. anything about an animal. But yeah, I've never heard anything like that before. If anyone in the chat or if anyone who watches this in the future knows about it, of course they can comment and let us know if they can identify it. But
Yeah, I think I know.
it kind of validated Mom there because she'd be thinking everyone thinks she's crazy, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys got to experience that. And I know after we stopped recording, I had my husband do a call, and then we heard a tree knock.
Mhm.
And then we just kind of did some different things. We did some rock claps as well, and didn't get a response from the rock claps. I mean, he got the tree knock from the call that he did, but really that howl, or that growl, not growl, but that yell was just, it was deep. It was so deep, and it was close.
Yeah,
It was.
It was probably up.
it was
was loud.
guttural.
Yeah, and I was so excited because we did, like I said, Monsters Unleashed. We did some investigating in there, and we have some pretty interesting photos out of there of a Bigfoot, big one, real big one. And that's why I want to take you guys there. And I didn't plan on getting out and doing that, but I wanted you guys to see how I do things when I go out, and I wanted you guys, when I say I prayed for activity before you guys came down here, I prayed for activity because I wanted you guys to have an experience. And you guys got that. You guys got to hear that.
Trish, we've been there twice. Both
Yeah.
times we've seen stuff or heard stuff.
I wanted you
I was
to
just
hear
about to say, is it as easy for everyone else who goes out looking for that kind of thing? Because every time we go out, we get it. Oh, it's only been twice now, but that's 100% of the time for me. So I was hoping maybe even for a lot more just sitting in the woods with nothing happening, almost just tranquility. But yeah, it just seems like either the place is so saturated with experiences similar to what we've got, or I wonder if it's an outlier that we're just in the right place at the right time, or the right energy in the right area.
I think we were just at the right place at the right time, and learning.
I was going to say that. I was just about to mention that.
That got, you may have gotten things up and moving, and honest, that thing may have been pissed because they're burning its home. And I'm not talking about just burning like the tree line. No, they're burning acres upon acres upon acres in there.
Oh, it was hundreds of acres.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we got trapped in that area. I mean, we eventually was able to get through, but I think
they were escorting people through the streets out there. So
yeah, it got things moving, and we're very lucky to have been able to experience that. And I know it probably freaked you out, Jen, and I'm so sorry if it did. And Jen's probably wondering, why the hell is Trish so excited about that? It's just investigating in their certain areas, I've kind of built a relationship with a few of them. I go in there and I gift. Now, that was the first time I've gifted in that area. But like, I've built a relationship, like a trustworthy one in a few of the areas. So I don't know. That's why I'm not so freaked out. I'm not scared of Sasquatches. Now, the whole dog man thing, which that is a different story.
Did you see what War Criminal said? That there's 150 acres on fire they have contained in the 337 area in the LBL right now.
Huh. No, I didn't see that comment. I apologize, War Criminal. I did not see that. I know Tammy said, yes, for the LBL, it's an active time of the year. Yes, and the fire. Oh, no, I'm sure the forest people are monitoring the fires.
was that sarcasm on the last part?
Oh man, yeah, I was gonna say, we didn't see
'Cause they were-
anybody controlling the fire.
They were not monitoring
not
those
monitoring.
fires.
There was very
Absolutely
little
not.
personnel
Yeah,
or
very.
no personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Which really had us shocked. We were all shocked. We were like, why isn't there anybody in this certain area? Like, why aren't they spreading people out to watch this? What if something goes wrong? Because it takes like one mistake and then that whole damn peninsula is on fire. And I'd hate to see that because that is such a beautiful, beautiful place.
They were real confident
They were really
that it
cool.
wouldn't.
Can we talk about that road where I got anxiety and my hair stood up and you got sick?
Little backstory, and I won't go into much detail. I was hit by something at this ditch. There's these two culverts at this ditch, and the one has a tree that's kind of bent around and almost looks like a door covering the culvert. And I wanted to take Jen around to some of the areas where I've actually had things happen to me. So I took her there, and James walked down and into it, was taking some photos and stuff. And I'm gonna I didn't feel right being there. I told Jen that. I said my heart's racing. I need to check my pulse. I don't feel right being here. I got kind of quiet. There was something moving behind us, and Jen, go ahead and tell him what all you had heard.
Oh. So while James was down there taking pictures, I got what I call the creeps, where my hair will stand up and I'll start having anxiety. And that's usually something creeping on me, whatever it may be. And I turned around and I told Trish, I'm like, hey, something's behind us in these woods. As soon as I said that, you could hear something crashing through the woods, stepping, step, 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 step. And then you heard what sounded like a rock hitting a tree and bouncing off a tree. So James is up here by then. Me and James and Trisha, I think Doug was standing there, I'm not sure. Or he might have been with Braden, just a little bit away from us, not far. And I was telling Trisha, oh my God, what was that? And we didn't see a thing, we just heard that. And there was a bird chirping. And James said every time, what'd you say? Every time the bird chirped, you could hear it take a step.
What? Yeah, it was a real loud bird, whatever kind of species it was, but and it was a long, drawn out call. So there was time for, if something was trying to move stealthily, it would have done it. Kind of like Shawshank, where the lightning hits and he hits the pipe in the movie. It was kind of like that, where it was waiting to mask its the noise of its movement with the bird call. Which could be coincidence, of course, but it was noteworthy to me anyhow. But that was a weird area, which I think the whole place is kind of weird.
Right there.
It's like I said, it's all infrasound, but it's a weird place. Makes you feel weird at all times. Even when I was in the creek looking for rocks, I'm looking over my shoulder, and I think that would have happened even if I hadn't. Had the context that the area's maybe, inhabited by whatever, everything apparently. So
did you
except for squirrels.
Hi,
did
Rylan.
you smell anything or have any sort of weird feeling when you were down in there at that culvert? Because you were right at the spot that I was standing when that happened to me.
I think that I was focused on getting a video of the inside, and I was just real curious because once I jumped down there, ticks were on my mind mostly. But when I jumped down there, I was looking for snakes, and so I was preoccupied. But also underneath of the metal drainage pipe was all washed out, so it was about to collapse on itself right there on the road, which. That caught my attention more than anything. So I didn't really smell anything, or not that I noticed it at least. And I felt weird being down there because I feel like the tensions were kind of high for whatever reason. Because you guys were like, "Oh, well, someone should go down." I'm like, "I'll go down there. I don't care," And I jumped on down there. But it It just
I
seemed like
couldn't.
everyone was waiting on something
I
to
was
swallow
afraid
me
of
or
ticks.
something. So
Yeah,
I'm afraid of ticks. I'm
I was a
sorry.
little nervous for you going down there. I couldn't.
yeah.
Like
Oh, I could
I
feel the
didn't.
nervousness.
To be honest, when we got there and I got out, I just wanted to leave right away. I didn't want to be there anymore.
Left the truck
'Cause
running, I noticed.
yep, I left the truck running. Did
Yep.
because I'm telling you that day that
See how observant?
the day that happened to me, I don't ever feel right being there. And I took my pulse. Jen was beside me when I took my pulse. My heart rate was 146, and I told Jen if it gets any higher, it'll throw me into a seizure. And she's like, "Great, you're just now telling me you take seizures."
Right. I was like, oh no, we got
Yeah,
to go. So
we
we rolled
got out
after
there.
that. She was fine.
I do want, yeah. When we got away, I was completely fine. I mellowed out. Heart rate came back down. But I do want to back up to the area where we got that audio because we forgot to show some pretty cool stuff from in there. Let me find it here. Okay, so I want everybody to look at this photo and look in like the grassy area, kind of dead center in the photo, and tell me in the comments what you see before I say anything, before we say anything. And when Jen sent me this photo, I'm not even looking in the grass. I'm looking in the tree for something. And then she's like, "No, Trish, in the grass." And then I saw it. And I was like, "Whoa." And she's like, "I didn't wipe my lens. There was nothing on my lens. It was just there." So Jen, do you want to talk about this photo and what you found in it?
So basically, I was going through my photos where we got those yells on audio. I could see anything in the trees, and the picture before this looks just like this picture. And then I got to this picture, and there's a blur in the middle of it, and I'm like, what? So I went to the next picture, which they were taken in succession, one after the other, of the same place. The middle picture is the only one that has that blur in the middle of it, which is right there.
I've kind of
That's
boxed
right
in.
where you were standing too, when you
Yeah,
recorded the original audio.
Yes, it was. You see, he is so observant because I told your mom, I was like, "Jen, that's exactly where I was standing."
Yeah, like exactly, yeah.
See, this is why I take James with me on stuff like this, or actually anywhere, because even on a hike around here, because James has got to be the most observant person I've ever met in my entire life.
So I'm going to go back and show the, before I box it in, there's a blur in the center of the photo in the grass area. And then I kind of boxed it in for people to see in case people can't see it.
Thank you, Pam.
This is basically almost the same photo, and it's not there. This photo was taken within like a second after, and it's not there. So
the photos will have a timestamp on them too. I mean, not that anyone's questioning it probably, but that's always good to have at least.
Yep. They were taken one after the other. I was standing there. You know how you just take pictures when you're out doing stuff like this, you just take random photos of the tree lines and stuff because you never know what you'll find later standing in them, something you may not have seen because of the angle you were standing at, So I took 3 pictures in a row, and the middle picture is the one that had the blur in it. And I just happened to notice it and sent it to Trish, like, look at this. And here's the picture before, and here's the picture after. And they were taken just like bam, bam, bam. So I thought that was really weird. I have no idea what that is.
And James, I don't know if your mom even told you this, but remember when I got out and I was like, hey, like there's something standing in between 2 trees. Like I could see it, but I can't make out what it is. That was the whole reason why your mom handed me her phone so I could record to see what it was. I got the head, but I couldn't see the body. So I'm going through the photos and I'm looking, and please let me pull up the right one. I found this.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying it's a Sasquatch, but
Right.
I am saying there's clearly something standing right there.
So that's your point of view looking down that trail, then?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, because I know you guys got out and we were all being particularly quiet, and you guys were staring down off that trail that way, and then I heard, because you were whispering, I heard you say like there's something behind the tree, and then you did the call or vice versa. But I remember you guys were focusing in on something, and I do
Yeah.
see what you've highlighted there, and
Yeah.
I was seeing that quite a bit throughout, especially at the last cemetery. No, not the last one we went to right before we exited, but the one before that, the one where he did the. Yeah, that's an interesting photo. I haven't seen that one yet. I hadn't heard the recording yet either. Actually, I guess I haven't really seen
I
or heard
haven't seen
anything from.
James much.
Yeah, it's been
And
He just
elusive.
lives across the street, and he just comes in and out of the house like a cat, and I don't even know he's been here. So
You notice I hung a picture on your wall earlier?
no.
But yeah, you'll see it.
Okay.
I really want the chat's opinion on this. You guys tell us what you see. I know standing there, I saw something standing there. And this is just one of those take random photos and go back and review them type of deals.
Yep.
And this is what we found in, let me find the one photo. Where'd it go? So this is just a zoomed out photo, and I kind of lightened it a little bit, and I still see it. It's right there, and it's zoomed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I zoomed in, and I can make out a face, and it looks like the head's kind of conical. But I could tell there was something standing there. I felt it. I even told you guys, I'm like, there's something here. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was something in the area because sorry to cut you off. There was something in the area because the rock clack that happened just after this was taken was very close. I mean, they pretty much right on top of us, I would have to say.
Yeah, it was right behind your mom in that field that has all the tall weeds. It was not that far away from your mom.
Very, very close, and also there wasn't any rocks.
Mm-mm. There weren't.
Like you'd have to have some rocks on you to be clacking rocks right there because it was just a field, just grass.
Yeah, and it wasn't close to the water either. So
Yeah, for once in the whole, because the area is just mostly creeks and stuff. So yeah, for once we were away from a creek with I didn't see any rocks. It was just all grass right there.
You know he's going to see a rock with his rock hound self.
I look for rocks particularly. So
interesting thing is we were looking that way, and when you click, you know, it came from behind us on the ridgeline.
Yeah.
Over, maybe even over the ridgeline. It came from behind us. This scream did, and then the rock clack came from this way.
Yep, behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Says looks like a figure standing behind a tree with the left side of its body standing out from the tree. Yeah, that's
what I see too.
That's what I see too. It was big. I will give you that. Like seeing it with my eyes, it was big. Where did we go after that? You guys want to talk about that cemetery, that new cemetery? Give a little backstory about it, and I'm not going to start any drama, but I'm going to give you some little bit of tea. So I saw posted on YouTube these photos about there being a ritual area in a cemetery and blood on the tables and all that nonsense. So I'm like, all right, well, they posted the name of it, so let's go check it out, see if there's really blood on these tables and stuff. So we went in there, and I'm glad we did. I'm very glad we did. James caught a very large tree structure in the woods as we're driving. And we get to the cemetery, and it's a really good ways back into the cemetery. I mean, it's way like miles away from the main road, the trace that runs through the land between the lakes. And we get out, we look around, and me and Jen's talking about the tables. We looked on the tables. There's no blood. We see a podium, and there's a shelter over it with these benches. And then we see one of those green, like, wreath flower holders.
Mhm.
And we both look at each other, and we're like, this is not a ritual site. This is a place for funerals.
Absolutely not.
There's no blood on the tables. There was no altar tree. So whoever posted that information, it was false. It was false.
Absolutely.
Sensationalism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's definitely a place where people gathered to have a celebration of life
Memorial.
for their loved ones in memorial service. Yes.
Yeah.
That's all that is at a cemetery at that, you know?
So we ran the spirit talker in there, and it gave us a few names, and it told us ancient spirit. And if my phone was charged, I would, pull up my spirit talker and read what it said. And we start hearing noises, like pretty quick, swift noises, like something moving. Now, at first, when we got there was 2 vehicles parked. So when we all started hearing noises, I'm thinking, okay, and I think I even said this, well, it's probably the people in these vehicles down by the water. No, we checked it out. There was nobody down by the water. I don't know where these people were, but they were nowhere close to that water and nowhere close to that cemetery. So maybe they just parked and found another trail and hiked it or whatever, but they were not close to us. And we're all hearing these noises, so we're all looking, and Hog was going through the cemetery like crazy. You could tell they'd rooted a lot of the cemetery. So I start thinking maybe a hog. Well, I never saw it, and I don't think you guys saw any hogs.
No, I never saw one. I didn't see any pyramids either.
Damn it, James!
Not James in it.
Yeah, not James. Yeah. Okay, so let me just get this off the table. There are no pyramids in between the lakes across from the Wrangler's camp. There's no pyramids. I have walked back in there. Several other groups that have walked back in there. The legends, and I'm talking Daryl, Martin, Mike Smith, because he's a legend now, which he's always been a legend in my book. All these guys that have years, some decades of experience in there.
Yeah, not to mention our friend that's been going in there every month for 20 years.
Exactly.
And been all over it.
More criminals probably in here, and there's no pyramids in the land between the lakes. None. I mean, there was some when it snowed, and it piled snow up like a pyramid, but that's about it. So, Mr. Oates, you owe a lot of people some money. Including myself. And you need to stop using Google Earth and AI to verify your photos, because we all know they're bullshit. That is all I'm going to say about that. And I've already shared what would happen if you come after me and try to bash my name and my group's name. So, FAFO. That's all I'm going to say. And these people deserve good evidence and truthful evidence and not freaking AI bullshit. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because we didn't come on here for all that nonsense.
Right.
Damn it, James started it. It's his fault.
James did that.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was keeping an eye out for him, but I just didn't see any.
Me either.
So, give me a second to recollect where I was at.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We did not see hogs. We saw rooting from the hogs.
That's right.
But we did not
Hogs.
see hogs.
From the hogs, didn't see the hogs. there was a lot of heavy stepping in there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let James tell us what he saw first, and then I'll let you, Jen, to say what you saw, and then I'll say what I saw.
Okay.
Okay, starting where we had just noted that the hogs had been tearing up the cemetery, which is kind of unfortunate for obvious reasons. But the landscape went straight kind of downhill, sloping toward the lake, or I guess it's a lake right there. And it wasn't very far off to the water. You could hear the water crashing, but somewhere in between us and the water was a bit of tree line, and we were getting. At first, I was hearing exactly what you guys were hearing, which was off to our left a little bit. Was initially just like stepping, something pretty heavy stepping, and pretty slow too, I would say. So we were all just focused on it, and then we were kind of trying to triangulate where that was coming from. Right on the opposite, almost directly opposite side, but still in our view here, to the right was another exactly the same noise, I would say. And I think I branched off to go off and look at whatever was to our right, and you guys stayed there to the left. And I think that once I got over to that side, there was a mound of dirt that they had pushed off to the side because of the cemetery. So I went ahead and got up on there because I was looking for what I thought would be probably a couple people, since there were vehicles parked there. Vehicles without like pollen or dust or anything. They were there that day. So I assumed I'd see a couple hikers, but there was no hiking trails there at all. There was no, what would you call that, trailhead. And there was just water over that side. And then at some point I saw, I don't know if you can see the color of my shirt, but it was looked like the round, broad part of the shoulder and back kind of peek out from behind the tree and then move real slowly to the other side of the tree. But the way they were angled, I could only see just what would look like a shoulder. And at first I thought maybe it'd be a boat that was slowly drifting up tip, but there wasn't a boat, and there wasn't a ramp on that side either. Or there wasn't a ramp near us at all that I saw, which is weird again, because those people disappeared somewhere in the woods or something there. Not to say there was a ritual, but they were there parked. And I didn't see, of course, as we always reiterate, that very little animal life in general in the area. So anytime we hear something, I'm always like, okay, well, what the hell is that? Because you don't hear animals moving around because you don't see animals in there.
Right.
Or at least I haven't.
And it's very quiet. It's the quietest woods I've ever been in.
And then, of course, I don't know what happened once I was over on the right-hand side, but I think you guys had the same thing over there on the left.
I did. So when you walk in there, you walk straight, it's the lake, a wood line in the lake. You can see it. It goes downhill. To my left, woods. To the right, woods. Behind us, dirt road. So basically, James had already warned me, hey, Mom, I can see where the hogs are rooting. Be careful. There's hogs. I'm like, thanks, babe. I'm going to go over here. I was looking on the tombstones facing the left in the wood line for a tombstone that said Rebecca, because her spirit thingy said the name Rebecca. So I was looking for Rebecca on the tombstones. So basically, I was looking in the wood line because I heard something rattling, ground clutter, okay, like leaves crunching. And I was like, oh my God, it's a hog. I was about to freak out, right? Because I have this thing about wild hogs and I don't like ticks. So I'm like super scaredy cat. And I was like, oh God, please don't let there be a wild hog, because I'm like terrified of them. So I was just looking. I didn't see anything. But what I did see was, James right, it's like the color of his shirt. It's grayish white. And I saw it go between two trees real fast. And it was so fast. It was like a blur. So I'm like, oh my gosh, was that my hair in my eye? And I'm thinking, no, I had a hat on. So I know it wasn't my hair like whipping in front of my eyes, because I had a hat on. And I stood there for a second, and I started looking for Rebecca Tombstone again, and I heard leaves crunch again. I looked up, and I saw it again go from one tree to another tree real fast. And at that point, I'm like, oh no, what the hell? So I'm like, James, I'm yelling at James, like, James, I just saw something. I just saw something gray and white go between two trees. I've seen it twice. And that's when Trisha was like, and James told me what he saw. And then Trisha, you can say what you saw.
Well, I wasn't too far behind James. It's kind of like in between you and James. But me and you were more like on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
I heard something heavy, like walking. And I was thinking about, the hogs rooting there. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a hog. So I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything. Well, then I saw something like grayish, silverish. It was shiny at first. It had some shine to it. Off to the left. And then I didn't see it anymore. Well, I started turning towards the right to see where James was at. I didn't know if he done took off like he does. And I saw it directly in front of us, at the front part of the cemetery, like towards the water. And it was, I'd say it was probably about 5'7", 6 foot. And I saw the shoulder and the arm and like a side profile, like of the head. And it moved quick. I mean, quick, behind the tree and just vanished. Almost like it went to the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that was. I mean, I know you had been doing some research on rakes, and I know it said that they were nocturnal, and like the way it looked to me was like it was a gray. And you know more about the grays than I do. I just kind of know what they look like. So you can explain to everybody what a gray is, but this is what it looked like to me.
I'm not going to lie, that's what it looked like to me too, except it was tall, about, I would say around 6 foot.
Pam,
it was lean, skinny.
It was lean.
It was spindly and skinny, and it goes so fast, it almost leaves a blur when it jumped from tree to tree. It not jumped, it ran from tree to tree. And its head was kind of conical shaped. And I don't know if I'm in denial about this or what. I almost would rather see a rake than see a gray alien, like for real. So I'm a little bit still tripping over that.
That's bad. If you'd rather see a rake than those rakes are not. They're not good.
Is that like the crawler type thing, or is that similar to that? Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't sure.
A rake is they call it a rake crawler, a pale crawler.
Okay, yeah, those are unsettling. I don't like those.
I don't like them either. But,
they're too fleshy. I don't mess with them like that.
This was in the daytime. This was, what was it, Trish? From our pictures, wasn't it like between a little bit before 4 to 4:30? This happened in the afternoon.
About there like 3:50. I started my spirit talker at 3:58. I started it when I got out of the truck, so it was 3:58 till about 4:30, somewhere around there. Sorry,
yeah. Sorry, I asked her to check the time because I was afraid we lost time. But according to her recording starting and the last picture I took, we didn't lose time, thank goodness, because I was tripping over that after I realized that it was probably an alien gray and not.
Are you asking if I'm an alien? Lord, I hope not. I don't think so.
Oh, can I show what Pam just said?
Yes, I was clicking on that next.
Okay.
Rake or Greg came to mind, and Rake was seeing Greg Ogle's crew last fall. Yes, they did. Natalie had to spray bear spray, and Greg was about to draw. He either did draw his weapon, or he was about to draw his weapon. And from what I've been told, Greg's not a guy that just pulls his pistol out at anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning more to a gray
Where was that, Trish?
I could take you there.
Where is she? Is she? Pamela's commenting about somebody that was in the LBL that had to use bear spray.
Yes, they were there filming.
Okay.
I was there for a couple of days they were filming. That's how I met NCI and Greg Ogles, and I met Natalie, and that's how I met Tracy. And that's when I met Martin for the first time. So, and I was correct. Yes, he drew his weapon. That was the first time for him to draw his weapon. Yeah,
I drew my weapon when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Because I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at right now, but no. Just no. And that was the first time I was there in the nighttime when they were in the field. What we think were crawlers were in the field. That terrified me. I'm not even going to lie. I was scared to death.
Dude, that terrified me when I watched this, and you watched it too, but like I was not far from it. So she was across the field at the campsite, and I'm like up close to it, and I lit it up with my light bar, and I'm watching. I wasn't that far from it at all. So we're watching it. I have her on speakerphone, and we're talking about it, and I just watched one just poof, gone, just disappeared. And this was right after I had my encounter, like just a few weeks after I had my encounter. So I was really uneasy being back in the LBL in general. Like I just didn't, I wasn't okay. I hadn't had time to process it, but our group was there and I needed to go in to, work with them. And I watched this thing disappear, and I look at my husband. I think I was still on speakerphone. I'm like, you need to get us back to base camp and
you did
now, because this thing just vanished in front of my eyes. And I don't know if it's on top of the Jeep, if it's underneath the Jeep, if it's attached to the side of the Jeep, but we need to get back.
It vanished off the night vision too.
Yeah, that scared the hell out of me that night.
Yeah, that was intense.
I don't like whatever that was. I pulled my gun. I had it in my hand, down my side, just holding it, because I didn't know how fast could they get across that field at what, 75 yards? No.
It was
Oh man.
yeah. It was a bit of distance.
Speaks highly of how the situation was. Yes, Pamela, it did. I heard it was very, very, very intense, and I've actually been down to where it happened at, and that is a creepy area.
Will you take me there?
I will take you there.
Thank you.
I'd like to see the cemetery that was at the, what was that, Colson Points or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
When you guys came in, yeah.
I still want to see that.
I'll take you out there. I'll walk you back in there because I've got some interesting stuff that came out of there as well. But we had a really good time. What else happened to us?
I don't know, but I can't wait to come back. We'll be back the 24th.
You guys, I encountered a smartass while we were there. That was riding a mule. Okay, I don't claim to know anything about farm animals or horses. So when I see something that looks like a horse, I'm in love because horses are beautiful. So we're walking, and this lady's on her mule, and I go, or she says, "Nice day, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am, beautiful day." And I was like, "Yeah, beautiful horses." She goes, "They're mules. There's a difference." And I'm like, sorry, like I'm not no cowgirl. Wish I was, but I don't know anything about the difference in horses. Like it's got 4 legs and it's big with a long snout. You ride it, it's a horse.
We were on a horse trail, so.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't say mule trail.
Tell me James's reply. What was your reply, James?
I don't even remember. What was it?
What'd he say, Trish? Something about, I'm sorry, jackass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a mule. Yeah, okay. That sounds like something I'd say, yeah.
And even my son goes, "Mom, that was really rude." And I'm like, yes, it was.
I was cracking
Oh,
up.
hey, you guys, my phone is dying because I wasn't anticipating being on this long.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have
I'll
to. I
come
mean,
over in a little bit.
I'll let it die all the way out or whatever. But
Okay.
just giving you
No,
a
it's
heads up.
fine. You
Okay,
can
now
go.
then, LOL, I moderate for
I will
Jen.
set you free, James. You can go.
Okay. Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I watched, we met Jim while we were down there. He came and hung out with us. He even ate one of my kebabs. He was really cool. And we hung out with War Criminal for a while. And I watched Paul's show when I get time. Swamp says, but you're a country girl, you should have known. Listen, okay, I'm used to fishing and hunting, not riding horses. I wish I rode horses, but I don't.
Listen,
Anyways.
I thought a moose was a horse when I went to Alaska, so don't feel bad.
Oh, so wait, this is our trip in LBL, our little camping trip just to hang out and stuff. And yeah, we got some good stuff, but we had some funny stuff happen to us. Like me and Jen are sitting by the fire, and across from our cabin, there's these horse stables, and
Damn.
I can't believe I'm going to say this on the stream, but it's funny and it'll give everybody a good laugh. So if you're having a hard day, this will make you laugh. Me and Jen heard a horse like fart. It fluffed. I mean, ripped one like no other. It was so.
It did. I was rolling. Oh my God. I was like, Trish, did that horse just fart? It is so loud. We've never heard a horse fart in our life, and we were just tripping off that, weren't we? It was funny as shit. So.
It was super funny. And then, like, again, guys, like, I don't know a lot about horses. Like, goats, cows, stuff like that. Yeah, not horses. I love horses, but I don't know a lot about them. And we're sitting there around the fire, and it's pretty late at night, and we're waiting to hear from War Criminal because he's out, investigating, and he was going to come up and hang out with us. And there's these 3 horses that are roped up right beside us, and they're just standing still, dead still. And me and Jen looked at each other, and we're like, "Do horses sleep standing up?" And we're like, I don't know. And I'm like, Jen, it's almost like those horses was struck with infrasound.
Man, they sleep standing up.
I do, and it's really scary to watch because they're just like.
They're standstill.
And I'm like, man, if I was to die, I don't ever want to be like reincarnated into a horse because that must suck, man.
To stand
you don't
up.
ever get to lay down. You just have to stand up all the time. That would suck.
Yeah, it would.
It would really suck.
Let's not talk about the frog incident. It was so awful.
Oh, I think you should talk about the frog incident.
I know. I will have to because I brought it up. But
yeah, now you put your foot in your own mouth. So you're gonna have to
man, you guys, I went in the cabin to put my phone on charge, even though we didn't have a signal. And I went in the cabin to put my phone on charge, and I was walking through there, and I stepped on something, and it snapped like bubble wrap, really loud bubble wrap, right? Tell me why it was a little tiny frog on the ground I stepped on, and it snapped when I stepped on it. And I felt so bad I was about to cry. And I'm like, Trisha, oh my God, I just stepped on this little frog, and I think I killed it, and it snapped. And she said, she was like, is that what that noise was? And I was like, yes. And I was like, get it. And she was like, no, you get it. So she gave me the broom and the dustpan, and I scooped it up to go bury it, and it hopped off. It hopped off the dustpan, and I caught it again, and I put it outside the door, and it hopped off. Like, I didn't kill it, I don't think, but I felt so bad. It was so terrible. It was just a bitty frog.
Okay, so enough with the funny stuff. Um, back to the serious stuff that happened. So there's no kitchen in our cabin. So I brought like a tote that we could fill with water to wash dishes and stuff. And I brought like a Scrub Daddy sponge. And the last night we were there, Jen did the dishes for me. She did the dishes for me. I was cooking and stuff. So she helped out and did the dishes. And I left I emptied the water out of the tote and I left the sponge inside the tote. Well, the next morning, and this happened like the night that Jen had something smack her side of the cabin. I didn't hear it. Her son didn't hear it. My husband didn't hear it, but Jen heard it. And after a rock was thrown at the cabin the week prior, same cabin, I believe Jen, I believe was heard. That same night, the perimeter kept going off. That morning we got up and we're just walking around to see if there's any marks on the cabin, anything like that. And the sponge that was in the tote was in the ground about 5 foot away from the cabin. So that was really weird to me. And then I was cooking, it was the first night, and I don't remember seeing this at all the first night that we were there. But I made the kebabs, and I'm sitting there and I'm cutting up the vegetables and the chicken and the pineapple, getting it all ready, and I stand up and something hits my eye on the ground, and it was hair. It looks like horse, but it was entwined in a wreath. Oh, that's not it. I'll get back to that. Oh no, what did I do with it? Did I upload it? If not, I'll have to. There it is.
There it is.
So that was really odd to me, and I collected it. I do not have it now because I heard that it's not good to find one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that
now that I'm looking at it.
It depends on the intention of it, because it is kind of like a Blair Witch thing, and I believe Tracy is in the comments. And Tracy, if you are still here, please tell me your thoughts on this, because this kind of has me freaked out with everything that I've heard about it, because you can see like an A and an X, and it does remind me of the Blair Witch a little bit. And this was
a cross.
It does. Yeah, there is a cross in it. And that, I do not remember seeing that when we got there.
I just remember looking down by your foot, and you were like, look, Jen, this is woven together like a little wreath. And I remember you scooping it up with that paper, and I said, that looks like horsehair in there. There's horsehair in there. So, yeah, it was weird looking for sure. But I didn't notice the sticks when we first looked at it. I'm glad you took a picture of it, because now looking at it with the sticks is...
And this looks like it's daylight because of the lighting. But this was actually at night. This was probably about, 8 o'clock at night?
It just got dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that was our headlamp shining down on it. But this was standing right beside my foot. And I collected it. I've showed a couple people that, and they gave me their thoughts on it. And they've not really been really good thoughts. I know a few people have told me it just depends on the intention of it. And I've been told that it reminds them of like Blair Witch charm. So I don't know what it is, but it's really odd. It was laying right beside my foot, and I don't remember seeing it when we got there. And we walked around. I still don't remember seeing it. And then we left to go to the store for a little bit and came back, and that's when I cut up the vegetables and everything, and I looked down, and there it was. And Tracy said, I just got on, so I missed it. Tracy, what are your thoughts on this photo? She says, the first thing I get from looking at the photo is somebody trying to hack somebody, but doing a really bad job of it. Don't worry about that thing. It can do as much damage to you as a dandelion. Swamp said it's witch stuff. And Pam said noteworthy to be sure. It was really odd, and I threw it away.
Hey, I've been meaning to ask you something, Trish. I know I was standing there when you put that perimeter alarm up when we first got there to the cabin. How high do you think that perimeter alarm was on that gutter?
About, I'd say a little over 5 foot, because I put it just above my head, and I'm like 4'11" and a half, so it was probably about a little over 5 foot.
Okay, I was just wondering, and I did hear something like hit on the cabin, like right where my head was in the corner of the cabin. Me and Trisha had gotten dehydrated, and we might have drank a little bit of alcohol and went to sleep. So I heard it, but I was too. Have you ever been too asleep? You're just like, yeah, whatever, that kind of thing. I heard it, and I wanted to tell Trish, like, Trish, get the hell up. Did you hear that? But I was too asleep to tell her, and I think it woke James up. He said he woke up right after that, apparently. Right before the perimeter alarm went off, James had woken up. So I think it, knocking on it, woke James up, and he went back to sleep too. But I guess the perimeter alarm went off right after that for a while. Trish, I don't know.
That perimeter alarm woke me up, and that was after you got hit.
Okay.
And I just want to clarify the whole alcohol thing. We did not drink when we were out exploring at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
It was like,
no,
getting ready to go to bed. We had a couple of drinks to just relax and go to bed, and typical female things. It was wine.
It was wine.
Yeah, because I don't drink when I go and investigate, and I hardly ever drink anyways. So I just wanted to clarify that, because you do have people who are like, oh, well, they were drinking and they're making this shit up.
Hell no.
No, it was not like that whatsoever. But
I don't even drink either.
Tracy commented on that photo. She said, carry salt with you, so when you come across stuff like this, just toss that on, and it'll counteract whatever the meaning is supposed to be. Noted.
Definitely noted. I'm bringing salt next time.
Me too. I think that's going to have to be a necessity for me to bring in there. So the next day, we went up, it was Sunday, we went up to another cemetery where I had my very first experience where something blew in my ear, and I lost hearing for 2 weeks, and it scratched my ear. And so I went up there to walk Jen through what had happened, where I was at, what I saw, stuff like that. And Jen, what'd you think about that cemetery up there?
I found it to be a little creepy for its location that was very close to the road. I really did. I had goosebumps in there on my arms twice while you were talking. And that's why I thought it was so weird, because it's right by the road. It's not like that one cemetery we went to. We had to drive for like 3 or 4 miles up in the woods to get to. And I wasn't even that creeped out there until we saw those gray things. But yeah, I was a little creeped out there, and I was surprised by how creeped out I was, because it's so close to the road. It's not in the woods. You know what I mean? So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's pretty close to the kill site too. and which we didn't get to walk down to that. There were some strong storms coming in, and unfortunately, Jen had to pack up kind of early and head home because of tornado warnings in her area, and she wanted to bypass that, and I don't blame her one bit.
No, there was 2 storms coming, and I luckily got home right in the middle of the 2 storms, and I was glad because the second round was pretty bad, and I sure didn't want to be on the freeway coming through Cincinnati and that crap. So, or Louisville either.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate driving through both of those. So
That cemetery, we heard something at that cemetery too.
mhm.
We heard that predator rattle while we were there.
We did, and that I know what that is.
That was the first time that I heard it there.
We heard
Now-
it together,
Yes, we did. Yep. I
and
was
I
like,
think
yep,
that's pretty cool.
yep.
So
Very
now we
exciting.
know we're both not crazy, because remember the first time you ever talked to me, you were like, "Have you ever heard a predator rattle?" And I was like, "What? Yes, I have, and I've never told anybody ever." So I think that's pretty cool that we got to hear it at the same time in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, that's the first time I've heard it in that area. I haven't explored a lot of the north. I've explored a little bit. I've mainly been just researching in the south. Now I have heard that predator rattle followed by screams, sounding like human screams right after hearing that rattle in the south. And it blows my mind. But we definitely had a really good time. And when Jen left, Annie and Crystal was there with us the last day, and we were out, exploring and stuff. And when Jen left, Annie and Crystal and I, we went back to doing our normal Sunday Monsters Unleashed work. And we just did an interview not too long ago. So now we're doing an investigation based off that interview, and it will be a video. So we went to go and start that, and we had some really interesting, scary things that happened during the paranormal part of that. And I'm not going to give too much detail because it's still an active investigation and it'll be out in video, but it's going to be interesting to see. Now, we did find a print that day, and I will share the print. But as far as saying what happened, I want to wait until the rest of my team is on here with us. Let me see if I found the print. Maybe this is it. Is this it? Oh, this is it. Now, I did not have my tape measure with me. I walked and forgot it in my vehicle. And yes, please comment, how dare you forget the most important thing while investigating is a tape measure. I forgot it. It was hot that day, very hot that day. So we, Andy put his knife down so we can judge the size by his knife. The knife's a little bit crooked, but that knife is actually 9 inches long. It has been measured to exactly 9 inches. So I believe that we estimated that print to be about 17 inches long. And there was more than one of these prints, and they were like staggered prints going up. And I hope I see them again when we get back in there so I can measure the stride and stuff. But they were just as we were going up, and then they just stopped. And then this set of prints was really odd though, because you had the 2 prints, and then just above it, just a few feet above it, there was more staggered prints, but they were facing the opposite direction. So that was weird to me. And you can't even tell in this this photo, but there actually was toe indentions in this. You could see, and the toe indentions were pretty deep into there. This would have been a great print for me to cast, but again, I didn't have my casting stuff with it, and it was so hot. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even feel like casting.
It was hot.
Anything. It was so hot.
It was. I hate taking pictures of footprints because it never shows any of the depth and the toe marks. You know what I mean?
I've noticed if you could take a picture of every angle of it, it kind of comes together and you're able to see it a little bit. That's what I did with this one.
Yeah.
I didn't upload the other angle on this one because this one you can clearly see that so it was pretty interesting, and I can't wait to share with everybody about the whole, what we did up in the cemetery, what happened up in the cemetery, and because it got very intense. Okay, I will share one thing with you, and Andy, I hope you're watching, because honest to God, I think I'm going to crop this part of the video out. Andy says I should leave it because it'll get people laughing. I am going to crop it out because it makes me look like an idiot. So we're running the Spirit Talker, and the Spirit Talker says Johnson. Well, Andy's last name is Johnson. Okay, well then the next thing it says is Harry. So when you put the two of them together, it says Harry Johnson. And I don't know why it didn't click. And this is in the recording too. Andy giggles, and I'm like, Andy, why are you laughing? Like, what's funny? Do you know Harry Johnson? And he giggles some more, and he goes, I'll talk to you about it later. We're recording. And I'm like, okay. So we're walking out of there, and we're kind of talking about what we experienced in the cemetery. And I go, Andy, who the hell is Harry Johnson? And he goes, Trish. He goes, I know you're not dumb. He's like, and I know you're not blonde. And I'm like, well, I'm originally blonde. And he goes, I just know you're not dumb. He's like, think about it. And I'm like, replaying it back in my head, like Harry Johnson. I'm like, okay, like I lost part of my memory when I caught on fire, because I did. I lost a lot of memory. It was Harry Johnson, and I yell it, and he's recording still. And I'm like yelling it. Who is Harry Johnson? Who is Harry Johnson? And Crystal goes, Trish, just think about it. And I'm like, so I kind of separate what happened in the cemetery, put that off, and just focused. And I'm like, oh my God. I said that on camera. You're like, and I think you should leave it on camera too.
You should leave it there. It's hilarious.
I was so tired. There were nights that we didn't get to bed till like 3 a.m. We had been walking all day. The day before, like I was about to pass out from like dehydration and heat exhaustion, and my heart rate was heavy. I was so tired. It just didn't click. And everybody, no matter who you are, we all have those moments where something just don't register. And Harry Johnson did not register that day.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, it was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing.
That's funny as hell.
It was really embarrassing. So, what was your favorite time in the LBL during our trip?
My favorite time? Definitely not the ticks. I think I liked hearing whatever that was yell 3 times. That was way cool. I loved it. You just know whatever it was isn't like that's not normal out of any other animal. So, and it was so loud and stuff. I mean, the audio don't do it justice. It was so loud. It was awesome.
You're welcome, Pam. I'm not, I know Saturday nights I'm usually pretty quiet and pretty serious. People have asked me, why do you look like you're going to kill somebody? And I'm like, I don't know. My dad does a lot of the talking, and I just sit, listen, and observe. Yep. So, I like to make people laugh. I feel like making people laugh makes them feel good. They could be having a rough day, and I can be serious when I need to be. But for the most time, I like being laid back and just, making people giggle and put a smile on their face and be serious when I have to be. But, Jen, that was my favorite time.
Me too. Well, besides the times where we were clowning at the campsite, at the cabin, I had fun.
Yeah.
Doing
had a really good time. And
minus the poor little frog.
The tick thing was crazy, though. Her son had 20 or more ticks on him. That's no lie.
Oh, my gosh.
I had a tick on my body in a very uncomfortable spot that still hurts.
Does
yeah, it still hurts. It's still really
well, I ended up with one on me, thanks to War Criminal probably jinxing me.
He did. He gave you hell. He really did. He really did give you.
God, he gave me hell about some ticks because he knows I don't like them. I'm freaked out by them. I crashed out. I was trying to call Trisha at 1:00 in the morning, like, I got a tick on me. Oh my God. How do you get them out? I was
and ripping. That was with us spraying, like dousing ourselves down in 2 different types of 40% tick spray. Our gear was sprayed down, our bodies was sprayed down, and we still got them. So ticks are going to be bad this year. They're already bad, and
they are. James had to strip down at the Dollar General into his underwear, and I'm not even joking. He had so many little teeny tiny ticks on him. It was insane.
It was crazy. And like I believe like the Dollar General guy, he knew, so he just didn't care because he just let James just walk in. And he was
no shoes on, no nothing. Thank goodness. I was glad. We're going to try Skin So Soft.
Yeah, we're going to try the Skin So Soft. I have heard of this LBL so hard. But we're going back. We just booked another little trip for us in April 24th through the 26th. It was really nice just being able to go and hang out with Jen and her son and my husband and my son and Jim Powell and War Criminal. Like, they were freaking awesome. Our little campfire talks we had with them, they were so funny. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard. And, we just started discussing things about, where I'm from, and Jen and Jim talked about their things. So it was a really nice time. And we talked about things that happened in the LBL and me and War Criminal talked about not a lot of people. Everybody talks about the cryptid side of the land between the lakes, but nobody talks about like the spiritual side and what that land does to people. And there are a lot of groups that they're fighting over this peninsula. They're fighting and meaning something. That fighting for this is what's feeding these things in there. These things are wanting people to fight because that's how it's gaining strength and its energy. And nobody talks about it that way. Nobody does what the land does to people when they leave and when they come to it. Because the first thing I told you was, hey, like, pay attention when you cross that that bridge how you're feeling, because it's like you automatically just like creep.
I felt it.
And then when you leave,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna say how you felt, but why? Like I get depressed, and then it gives people these dreams or visions or whatever you want to call it, and I've had these dreams, and I know.
I just dreamed something that night before last. I forgot to tell you.
What was it?
I did. I'll try to remember what it was about, and I'll call you. I dreamed about the LBL the other night. Not last night, the night before.
Yeah. Nobody talks about.
I forgot.
Nobody talks about that stuff. Everybody just focuses on Dogman and Bigfoot and everything else in there. But nobody talks about what it does to people, just the land itself, and like the nightmares people get, and how everybody's fighting over it. And the fighting, it really just needs to stop. People should work together, because it's feeding these things. It's making them stronger. And so it was nice talking to somebody that kind of feels the same way about it.
Yeah, he does know, and
He really does.
yeah, he's real knowledgeable about
Very
that.
knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I say we play our video one more time for people, and because it's going on 2 hours and 11 minutes, and I'm sure Pam's getting tired of us making her laugh so hard. But we will go out. Let's go ahead and play that video for everybody again.
Okay.
I don't see the body of it, though. Did you fucking hear that? Open the door, sit still. That's a woodpecker. Was a woodpecker, but the response was different. Wow. It's just
so much louder in person.
It was very loud in person. Very deep, and you could tell it was big. And I believe that he was that.
You need to check that video. Or I can check it. It's on my phone. I'm just saying, we need to check that video. Because there was a point where it was scanning. I thought I saw something. So check that. You're better at that than me. Okay. That might have been what I saw then.
Oh, she means I like froze on my in silence. But I do. I feel that way. I think it was that.
I do too.
And it was amazing. But we have I have a couple announcements to make. Tuesdays in our member section, Jen and I do Cryptid Awakenings. Cryptid Awakenings is a little support group podcast where people can come and share their encounters, and they don't have to show their face. They don't have to tell a name. It could be anonymous. We're working on people a call-in system where they could call in. And after my encounter, I realized the one thing that really is going to help me is talking about it. And if I can talk to other people that have had encounters and help them, that will help me. So I asked Jen if she would be willing to co-host a show with me, and we did just that. It's called Cryptid Awakenings. It is live in the Monsters Unleashed members section every Tuesday at, is it 7 p.m. or 6 p.m.?
7 o'clock.
Okay, I may have told Tracy the wrong time then.
Well, maybe it is 6 o'clock.
I think it's
6 o'clock.
yeah, it is 6. It's 6 p.m. We got so many shows. So tomorrow we will have Tracy and her husband on Cryptid Awakenings, and I'm really excited for that. I think the world of Tracy and her husband. They're really good people. And then, is there any other? Do you have any announcements for your stuff?
No.
Okay.
I don't have anything going on really. Just, I had a new video upload today from Matt with the Drunken Cryptids podcast. Is up on my channel. It uploaded right before we started this live. It's Eastern time.
Yeah, it's Eastern time. Okay, so yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
6 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Swamp and Tammy. They were on it. We got a lot going on, guys. We really have. We have been really busy. Especially me. She's did so many shows this weekend, and go check out her new interviews that she just did. They're really good.
Yeah, I did Tim Dill of NCI as well, and then Trisha, your videos up. Or I interviewed you at the cemetery. It's up on Creepy Culture.
Yeah. But if you want to, come check out Cryptid Awakenings. I'm not telling anybody like, hey, go buy a membership, come check it out. But I feel like it's been pretty successful so far. It's been really fun to do. And our goal with it is to help people and make people aware that, hey, like there are groups out there that you can trust and you can talk to. And, I hope to help as many people as I can because these encounters, they just live with you forever. And if you can find a group that can help you just cope with it and make it somewhat easier, that's a good thing. And that's our goal.
Yeah, just talking to somebody that understands means a whole difference,
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to say?
No, just thank everybody for being here, and thank you guys for watching and supporting us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for the comments tonight. You guys have been amazing in the comments, and thanks for sharing your thoughts on what we have shown, and being honest about it. And we really appreciate all the support, and we will
All our
see you
people here.
Yeah, yes.
Love that.
And I know this has been really good. This has been a great show. And we will see you guys. If you're not in the Cryptid Awakenings show tomorrow, then I don't know when Jen's doing a show for her channel, but Monsters Unleashed, we will have a show this coming Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we will see you guys then. So again, thank you. Also, like I said at the beginning of the show, if you believe in the power of prayer, please say a little prayer for my dad.
Yes.
He is not feeling the best. He's got some medical issues going on. And he could use an uplifting and some prayers to help get him through it. And if you don't pray, that's fine too. Just keep him in your thoughts and wish him well. But we will see you guys Saturday. And again, thank you. We love you all. This has been a blast. Sorry that we made you guys laugh so hard about the horse party and stuff
Man,
and all that
of
stuff.
course.
Yeah, I know. We're just gonna sit here and talk about the horse. No, we have been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I know
We
you're
gotta
tired,
go.
and I know I'm tired. I still have to cook dinner and finish laundry because school's tomorrow for my kids. But we will be posting the audio video. It will be posted on both Monsters Unleashed and Creepy Cultures YouTube channels, Facebooks, and TikToks. That'll be posted sometime this week. Me and Jen will get together probably tomorrow and work on that. If you guys don't mind, make sure you like this live afterwards. You share it out, get our names out there, because we have fun doing this, and we want to meet new people and have new people in the comments, because you guys in the comments supporting us and giving us your thoughts, it's amazing. It's amazing. And that's what we need. And, you guys could tell us, oh, well, that's nothing, or you're just seeing things, or that's just pareidolia. We want to hear honest opinions about the things that we find. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. But we do always go back in and double check. We don't ever put out anything unless we know for sure it could be something. So,
Right.
But again, I'll stop rambling on, and you guys enjoy the rest of your night and stay safe. And we love you all. And see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
They're out there in the dark, waiting for us. Monsters on land. Out where the pine roots twist and bleed, footsteps shake the ground beneath. Eyes in the tree line glowing red, whispers say the lost ain't dead. Steel nerves, cameras rolling.